Baby, let me give it to you. Whatever you need, I got it. You don't need to know anything you need. Just ask and I'll provide. Whatever you want, I got it, got it, got it, got it. Hey, pretty lady.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Looking for Love. I'm your host, Trey Kearney, and this is my co-host,
Lamar Hall.
And we're here every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New You Nation Network YouTube channel for Looking for Love, where we are trying to bridge the gap between Generation X men and Generation X women so we can have healthy love. So tonight we're excited about our topics. We're excited about our viewers' questions. We got some good ones this week. And we're just excited about some new segments that we're adding into the program. So, hey, Lamar, how was your week?
Going pretty good, pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I cannot complain. Just working. You know, we got some things going on in the back end.
Hey, I like the intro. Hey, the intro felt like like a 90s sitcom there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know I wrote that, right? You know I wrote that.
Hey,
I got to shout myself out for the writing of the song.
Hey, dude, definitely. Listen to that.
That was all me. That was all me, you know, produced by some producers I manage and a group that I used to work with. Well, still work with. So they're all just waiting for everything to blow up and everything. So it's all good. So we got some things on the back burner. We've been talking all week about some new segments. We're excited to introduce those segments as we move forward. But we're going to always get into our first segment, of course, is we got to answer our viewers' questions. And that is, what would you do if it was you? Let's talk about that. So let me get my glasses because y'all know I can't see without my glasses and get to our first question.
Let's go.
My son is 17 and got his girlfriend pregnant who is 16. Her parents are pushing marriage. My husband and I are totally against it. He says yes out of guilt. We ask him, does he love her and can he see himself with her forever? He said he's not sure, but he wants to be responsible. What advice would you give your son in this situation?
I think I would tell my son is definitely, I would not force marriage. So I would definitely tell him, you know, if y'all love each other, y'all want to be together and you want to try this relationship type of thing, then definitely, yeah. But man, at 17, that's a tough one. And she's 16. So they necessarily can't really live together. They're still kids. I mean, they're going to need a lot of assistance. And unfortunately, grandparents are going to have to step up. And I wouldn't push marriage. I would keep them separate, let them have their house. You know, she's going to have the baby majority of the time. And, you know, don't force anybody to do anything. If they're going to be together, they're going to be together. So just, you know, let it happen like that. I wouldn't read too much into it. I mean, the baby's coming. You're not doing anything about that. So you got to deal with it. I mean, you know, just my next question to him was, don't let this happen again. You can't have two kids under the age of 25 and think you're going to achieve your goals in life. I mean, because your priorities change different. You got to focus. It becomes about the children. So it's not necessarily about you anymore. And hopefully majority of us go through life and you get where you need to be late 20s, early 30s, you're more established, financial, and you can do those things. You can take care of a child better. That's just the responsible side of me. That's the way I did it. So I know that doesn't happen, but if in a perfect world, could you do it that way? Yes.
I would say I would agree with you not to force marriage. And I would also tell him, because you're not marrying her does not make you irresponsible, because he said he wants to do the responsible thing. And I would tell my son, the responsible thing is to take care of the child that you created accidentally, because this wasn't on purpose. And you don't even know what you want at this age. And it doesn't make any sense to force yourself to try to be with somebody that you don't even love. We don't know the whole situation, so we're not sure if this was, we slept together once or twice and oops, or, you know, they've been, because they're only 16 and 17. So y'all can have been together too long, but you know, you have your high school sweetheart, or they might've been together since ninth grade. But I would just say again, responsibility doesn't necessarily mean marrying this girl. Responsibility means being responsible for the choice that you're about to make. And marrying her, if you don't want to, is going to cause more problems between you and her than you believe. And again, y'all can't live on your own. What y'all think? We're going to get y'all a house, apartment. Y'all still have to live with us. And the responsible thing I would tell him would be that you are going to be responsible and you are going to have the child as much as this child's mother. And financially, you will have a job and you will handle your responsibilities. Me and your father won't. Because I hear this young man, and it sounds like he come from a 2-parent home, unless that's a stepfather, but whatever, it's 2 parents in a home. And I hear that they raised him well. And I would also tell him, don't beat yourself up because mistakes happen. And I don't want you to be guilted into overdoing what you think you're supposed to do as a parent, or to prove to me or that girl's parents, because they're the ones that's trying to do the shotgun wedding. And at the end of the day, does the girl want to get married? Because again, I don't even know if she wants to get married. So I would just really sit down and have a real conversation with them and say, once the baby is here and we get y'all settled in both houses, we'll have accommodations at both houses. And if you guys decide when you graduate high school, if you want to get married, then there's nothing we could do about it right now. But as a parent, I would be against that too. I would be like, I'm sorry, other parents, but you're not going to force my son to marry your daughter. Not that I'm blaming your daughter, but we all have some responsibility in this, because did you guys have a talk with her about birth control? And our son was irresponsible too. And he is going to handle his business. But what we're not going to do is force him to do something that he does not want to do. So that's it, period. So we're going to go to our next question. Thank you guys, everybody who's tuning in. If you're tuned in, you're listening to Looking for Love. We're here every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New You Nation Network. So let's go to our next question. I'm having serious issues getting hard. I'm 58 years old. I've been seeing someone for close to about 5 months. She's 51. We're going to a wedding together out of town, and she asks if it's okay if we stay in the same hotel room, because she's comfortable with that. So I know what that means. She's down for the get down. Should I have a conversation with her or risk the embarrassment?
Well, there doesn't have to be an embarrassment. You can go see your doctor. I mean, at some point, every man is going to need something to help with his libido. I mean, it's just the natural progress of life. And the more that men talk to each other about it, you understand it. There's prevention. So,
Right.
And, we'll talk about that. It's just men monitoring their testosterone levels and things that they can, supplements and things you can do. But yeah, he shouldn't be embarrassed. I mean, I would go see my general, practice, and see and tell him, you may need, Viagra or something like that. I mean, that's an easy thing. So, I mean, she's 51, so she's not going to embarrass you. I mean, I don't think a 51-year-old woman is in that business to do that as well, because she understands her body's going through transformations as well.
Exactly. Yeah, I would just listen, have the conversation, because this is why I'm gonna say have the conversation. Because if you don't have the conversation, you're already mentally upsetting yourself. So it's not gonna work for you if you don't have this conversation, because you're gonna go in the room already like, oh my goodness, what if it doesn't happen? Or what if it comes off too fast? So
well, let me say this to all women out there. Men's brains are wired directly to our penises. Okay. So it's one of those things is that anything can spook you. It's like a deer. It's like the wrong thing. You got to keep a guy in the moment. You can't lose him, because if you start asking questions like, hey, what's going on down there? He's out of there. Okay. So just understand how sensitive our mind is visually, that we go to a different place and we need arousal. So if he's older, he's going to need arousal. There's need to be key words and things like that. I don't know how comfortable they are with each other, but that's what an older man needs to sustain that type of energy.
yeah, and again, have the conversation beforehand, because he said, I'm having issues. And we always talk about this like every week. These are just conversations we should be having while we're dating.
Correct.
Because at this age, you guys are probably looking at marriage, looking at a serious commitment. So it's best to really have the conversations now, because she's not going to go anywhere. If she likes you and she's saying, do you want to stay in a hotel room together because we're going to a wedding out of town? She really likes you. So I would say just, hey, there's some things going on. It's not that, because clearly they haven't been together yet. And it's been a minute since they've been seeing each other. And I would say, I don't want you to think that we haven't been intimate because of anything that you're doing. But I think it's time that we have a conversation now that we're going to be staying in a hotel room together. I don't know what's going to happen, but there's been some things going on with me medically. And I just want to tell you, if anything,
Yeah.
go ahead.
He just needs to go get to the doctor, man. I mean, that could be cleared up with a pill, Blue Chew or something like that for the night. I mean, he's fine. Then he can work,
Blue Chew.
he can work on his health, on the other side of that, But for that night, for being that specific, get you a pill, man. You be good to go. You take that whole
But you don't
pill.
think he should have the conversation with her?
No.
No?
See how the pill works. Hey, listen, if the pill don't work, then he's
gonna be embarrassed.
Well, then they need to have a conversation then because something else is going on. If he takes a Viagra pill and can't perform, he has a bigger issue going on. Because that is a involuntary action. I mean, you don't have any say so once you take that pill. I'm just saying.
Oh no, I didn't know it was like that. I thought you had to. I don't know what I thought. I've never.
So the thing about Viagra is that that's why they sell it and they can say, hey, over 12 hours. For a guy my age, what it does, it's recovery. It doesn't do anything else, but just you're right back to go again. That's all it is. Now, there's certain cases where I'm sure it can happen that you might have an erection way too long, but let's take the polls. What percentage? Less than 5? Okay, cool. I mean, it is what it is. So take a pill. You'll be good.
For me, I would say to him, as a 54-year-old woman, I would say, I would rather you have that conversation with me if we're going to be together. Now, if we just gone to this wedding and you already, like you said, if we just gone to the wedding and we're not really planning anything, but they've been dating for a while now, I would be like, they should have had this conversation if he was having these issues and he knew that he was going to want to move forward with her. I want to say to the men, to the men, we understand, like, we're Generation X. We totally understand that there are things going down with y'all and there are things going down with us. So if you are dealing with a person who's not mature enough to have this if you're dealing with a woman that's not mature enough to have a conversation with you saying, hey, there's some things that's going on, then that's a person that's not mature, because we all know going into our 50s and some people into their 60s that these things are going on. So have these conversations early on in the relationship. That's all I'm gonna say. After 3 months, we all know at our age, most people, not me, because I already told y'all, you don't put no ring on it, you ain't getting nothing. But most people at our age are sleeping with each other and not being married. So we know that after 3 months, something get ready to happen. So we should be having these conversations.
Better 3 months. That's too much time there.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm too old for that. It's too much time.
Well, depending on who,
I had time to waste when I was, younger, but not now.
Depending on the person that you're dating. Like if it was me and you when we was dating, you already know. Like
if you have to uphold your standards, and if that's what you stand on, totally respect it. Again, I have the choice to go. Either I'm gonna wait or I'm not gonna wait.
Right. So, but me and you, we wouldn't be a match because I know you don't want to wait, and I would be like, okay, we could go to dinner and hang out, and we good, we cool, but
you're a homie, always.
You ain't getting no cookies, so you might as well go over that way, over there, and because what I'm not doing anymore is putting notches in other brothers' belts. Because no, I'm sorry, we're not doing that. So if you just tuned in, you probably came in on this part and you're like, what are they talking about? We're here every Wednesday night. This is Looking for Love. We're in the New You Nation Network YouTube channel every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are a Generation X man and woman, and we are bridging the gap between Generation X men and women without dividing us into saying men are right or women are right. We just want to make sure that we're having healthy conversations and not dividing the sexes. So my name's Trey Kearney. This is my co-host,
Lamar Hall.
And we just keep it real. So we're going to go to our next question because our viewers be hitting me up like, you ain't get to my question last week. Listen, we answer the questions in the order that we receive them.
All right. We're doing
and
good.
I have some questions on TikTok that are in my inbox. And I'm to the people, we're not on TikTok tonight, but to the people in TikTok, I am going to read your questions because we have a whole bunch of them based on the conversation of sexless marriages. and we'll get into that. So what I did want to address is this. Last week, right, we had a woman that was kind of upset with you because you said, you know, some women are unrealistic and they are looking for a man who's a 10 and they're a 5. And she said that you were wrong for saying that. I just want to say this. All of it, I think I'm a 10, but I don't think that, I'm not saying I'm a 10 on the outside. I'm saying I'm a 10 as an overall package, as a good person. And I think that the conversation last week, you were talking about when we meet each other, we're visual, right? Like,
yes,
it's an external attraction as opposed to internal. So I think that I'm a 10. And I think that she needed to understand that as an all-around person, you should think you're a 10, but you should be realistic about your body. Like, I see women sometimes who are a 10, like they work out, they keep themselves right, their makeup is banging, their hair is done. I'll be like, dag, I need to step my game up. So I know in my mind when I'm saying that, I'm not a 10. Like, I need to go to the gym. Like, my arms are not the way they used to be.
Well, I don't think it's a knock on yourself if you understand you're not. I don't know if you've ever been in the presence of somebody that's just beautiful. I mean, just like, listen, I remember like it was yesterday. I was in New York and I was at a Diddy party and Cassie walked in and I'm just looking like, she doesn't look real. That's how beautiful she was in person. So I'm looking at that type of woman and I hear a woman from last week go, I'm a 10. What? You can't. You and Cassie standing next to each other. Come on, man. It's like, why is that? It's like, I get it. You want somebody to see your insides. You want to be accepted for that. That's not how the world works. It just doesn't.
But let me say this, ladies, this to my ladies. We need to be realistic with ourselves, but comparison is the thief of joy. We're not going to compare ourselves to anybody. But realistically, I will see a woman, like, no, seriously, I will see a beautiful woman. No Diddy.
Well, out. Oh my God. That came out of nowhere. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. My bad. No.
I can't with you.
Okay. Pull yourself together. Pull yourself together.
Okay, here we go.
I will see a beautiful woman and I will say, dang, she is beautiful. Like, I will see somebody, even outside, like if I see a woman that's all the way put together, I'll be like, dang, like the hair, the outfit. So I get what you're saying. So I want the woman who was listening, don't be offended and you should love yourself. You should think in your mind that you are a 10, but you should be realistic when it comes to dating that maybe you're not. Did that come out wrong still?
No. What I'm saying is that all I was trying to say is if you're a little bit more realistic, you'll find happiness a whole lot quicker because you're not going to be disappointed. If you're okay, let's just say you're 6 and you're aspiring to date men or a man that's a 6 and you don't have a bunch of money trying to date a woman that's a 9, you're going to get a lot of disappointment. I'm not saying that one person may not like you, but man, it ain't going to work out in your averages. So it's like, come down a little bit to reality. And a 6 and a 7, they belong together. A 6 and a 9 don't belong together unless one of them got $1 million. I'm just saying.
So to the woman that chimed in, I think that you took that the wrong way. And he said clearly not only women, but men. But men are more realistic when they're together to say that they know they're not a 10. And women, we do get together and we will be telling, we will inflate our number.
I give a prime example. Super Bowl a couple of years ago, hanging out with some guys was in a section and Nicole Murphy was in the section. We getting up, walking out, guy grabs my arm. He goes, hey, Nicole Murphy wants to know who you are. I turned and looked at him and said, I ain't nobody. I can't afford her. Crazy? Like, get off me, man. Shit. I know my limitations. Man, just because she thought I was cute, great, thank you. But I don't want no parts of you. That's right. Realistic. I don't know. That's just realistic. You know, could I walked over to her, hey, how you doing? And yeah, but at some point, I gotta go like, hey, she might want to go to Turks and Caicos. I can't take her.
Oh, she might want to be on my yacht.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, man. That's just reality. I know where she's been playing at. And
Yes.
unless she looks at me and goes, I don't care if you're poor. Like, let's go.
But that's not the reality.
That's not reality.
That's not who she
That's what I'm
is.
saying. It's just like men and women, your happiness lies within your accountability.
I'm speechless.
Hold on. What did Keenan Ivory Williams say during Hollywood Shuffle? Message.
You over there drinking?
Hey, anybody Generation X, y'all don't get that? Get out of here. Y'all
Yeah, you don't belong here. You don't belong
get out
here.
Get
So we're gonna go to our next question so our viewers won't get mad at us. I need my glasses. So my ex wants me back. He left me because he said he needed to do some growing. But during this growing season, he dated multiple women and we messed around during this 2-year growth period. Now he wants to take our relationship seriously. I'm not sure how to take this. What if he decides he needs another growth period? Do I risk my heart and feelings or just move on?
Well, how old is she?
She didn't say.
Okay. So let's assume she's Generation X.
Yes. We should assume everybody that's coming in is at least 40 and up.
Okay. So let's give it. You have to respect a man who wants to go work on himself. Now, in the interim, maybe working on himself, he need to get rid of these urges. He need to get rid of the temptation and really figure out, is there somebody better out there? And if not, he understands and he'll value you a little bit more. Now, that being said, I don't know how you broke up. I don't know what caused you to break up. I don't know what his problems with all of that was. But if it was just a conversation with two grown people sat down and he goes, man, I need to grow. I need to walk away. I need to grow. I need to work on me. That's respectable. Now, you called him doing some stuff or he wasn't being a man or whatever the case may be, don't go back to that. Now, if he was a good man working on himself, hear him out.
I would say this. You didn't set a boundary while he was working on himself because she said clearly they were still messing around. This is just my opinion. If he wanted to grow relationship-wise, he would have been going to take care of himself and work on himself and not been out. And I'm not saying he shouldn't have been dating or anything, but if the plan was to grow and work on himself, to be a better person, I would think that he would take some time to himself to grow, to see what he wanted as a man, to work on his inside, to work on his mind, and definitely not. If a person tells me that they need to work on themselves and then you want to come back and still be my boyfriend, kind of, sort of, and still sleeping with me, you don't want to work on yourself. You just want to go out and date other women and have my permission to do it, right? Like, you really want to date other women and you still want to see me and you want to see what's out there. And if there's nothing else out there, then of course you would come back to me. So I would say, if I did that, there would have been no contact between me and him because he wouldn't have free reign on me and to be out dating other women, to break up with me, to date other women, to date me too.
Well, I think that the relationship wasn't bad because they clearly were still dealing with each other. I don't think if she was like disgusted with him, she wouldn't be sleeping with him. I mean, you tell me. I mean, I don't, but
right. But he said he wanted to grow. Then if you want to grow, then go ahead and grow. But you're not going to be growing seeing me. Just say I want to see other people, because that was deceptive. Just say I want to see other people.
I don't know. Maybe the time apart just allowed him to see other people. It's just like I don't think him leaving or saying he needed to grow was because he wanted to go do that stuff. I think that stuff was just a byproduct of him just being by himself.
He wasn't by himself. He was seeing other people and seeing her.
No, when he left her, I thought they were together and he left and then he started seeing other people.
Right.
That's fine. I mean, see, the problem is that women take too much value into men in the physical. A man can hang out with a woman, have sex with her, and this and that. And if he's in the mindset he's not really looking for something, that doesn't really matter. He's just doing something. So it's like he was casually dating, but he was allowed to casually date because he was single. Now that he's casually dated and he's been out there, maybe he doesn't like casually dating anymore. and he wants to be with the best woman that he was with out of all of those women, which might have been her.
Well, like I said, he wouldn't have had access to me while he was out soaring his royal oats. No, I would have definitely said thank you for being honest and saying that you need to grow. But you can't say you need to grow and not be with me, but still be with me. So that was on her.
Well, was he supposed to just not have any type of interaction with anybody just while he's working on himself?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying that he wouldn't have had access to me. If I'm dating you and you say to me,
okay,
I'm breaking up with you because I need to grow. And you growing and you go out and you break up with me, you're not going to break up with me and still have access to me.
No, that's on her then.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You broke up with me.
She allowed it. I mean, she allowed it. So
yeah. So if you want to go back to him, go back to him. But if I were you, he already showed you who he is. So again, if he decides that he needs to grow some more, you can expect that he's going to say, hey, I didn't grow enough, so I need another break to go grow some more and see some more hoes.
I would. There you go.
That's what he did. He got permission to cheat.
No, I don't think that was it. I think he just wanted to get out and kind of see what he needed to do, and if this is truly what he wanted. And I mean, he does have to come back a little bit more serious than what he left. So, you know, I don't know. It's
sounds like Donnell Jones, where I want to be. I left my baby girl a message, said I won't be coming home. I'd rather be alone. She doesn't fully understand me.
I'd rather leave. Yeah,
cheat. Give me some time. I could be the man she needs. No, she should have just let him go. And he might have came back sooner than 2 years if he didn't have access to her. Seriously, sometimes when people lose something, you never miss your water till your well runs dry. But he don't even know what it's like to be without her.
I had something in my eye. I'm sorry. I had something in my eye.
He don't even know what it's like to be without her because he still had access to her. So again, if he decides that he wants to grow a little bit more, she should be leery of if he's going to tell her, hey, I need time to grow again, so I'll be back when I'm finished growing. So if you just tuned in, you're tuned into Looking for Love. My name's Trey Kearney. This is my co-host,
Lamar Hall.
We're here every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New You Nation Network YouTube channel. We have one more viewer question, and then we're going to go to our next segment, which is a new segment for y'all. We got to get the hand clap machine now. Yeah. That just came in my head.
Yeah, get the roar.
Yeah, we got to get the clapping. So let's go to our next question. I think I found a great guy. He has all his ducks in a row. Unfortunately, he's not that big down there. We've been intimate quite a few times. He gets his, but falls short of the mark, getting me there every time. I've been with him for a year and some change, and I've never had an orgasm. Never. Am I beating a dead horse, or is there hope on the horizon? Now, listen, let me say this about getting an orgasm, right? You have to know your body. And I try to tell women this all the time. If you can show a man where to go, you'll get an orgasm with just his penis. But you have to know, okay, let me just say it. Let me just talk about this. These questions. Don't laugh at me, Lamar. You have to know, right? Am I about to tell my business? I don't want to tell my business. But you have to know that you got to know which way to lean. You got to know where your spot is. You got to know if you need to lean over a little bit to the left, if you need to lean forward. You got to know how to make that thing make you feel. Like you really do. And I don't care. I'm not going to say how big or how small. Well, but okay, it doesn't have to be huge.
What is too small? Because this is a realm I know nothing about. So I
don't know what too small. I'm saying if it's a
I'm just saying yeah. As a woman, what do they say in TikTok? What's average?
Oh, I don't know. I don't listen to that stuff. I just know that. I haven't experienced anything too small, but I've experienced some differences.
What do you count
by inches? I don't know.
Yeah, inches.
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. I can't even.
Yes. Is it bigger than a hot dog? Is it a banana? I mean,
It
what is
better be a banana. A banana. Let's say a decent sized banana.
so about 6 inches, 6 to 7 inches should be about
something
average.
like that. Yeah. If
So what is he? If 6 and 7 is the average, what is he? If he's a 5, 5 can be worked with. Like you said, you got to know your body. You got to be comfortable and know your thing. But 5, I mean, you got to ask yourself, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to, buy you a new cervix, or what are you trying to do?
right, no, but I've learned on my journey, and we old enough to talk about this. And it's at 8:30. We old enough. Your kids shouldn't be in the room anyway. But anyway, listen, seriously, whatever size it is, like everybody's not going to be huge. So whatever size it is, again, you have to know your body. You have to get on top if you need to get on top of him, right? If you're not getting what you need with him being on top, then you may very well need to get on top of him so you can get the full penetration. And you might need to lean forward or lean backward. And I learned this about myself over the years of it wasn't something that the men before the one was doing it wrong. It was that I wasn't guiding my own body the right way, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because once I figured out my body, I can get an orgasm with whoever because I know how to do it.
Once you know what your spot is, you'll find your spot. So the other thing is that, people have to understand this too, is that if you're not a well-endowed man and you have a belly,
oh no,
hey, it's taken away from your inches, buddy.
Oh no. And that's what I mean for women, because there's some women who like a big man. Then you got to get on top. You're gonna have to get on top because if you want to buy, it's not gonna work with you being on the bottom.
I mean, you got too much belly. If he has too much belly, then you're not getting everything. So you mean like
right? You have to get on, or you got to get on the side.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to make it work.
She can make it work. She said, "Is this am I beating a dead horse or is there hope in horizon?"
Nah,
sis,
it's on you.
Yeah, sis, you got to know your body and you got to be able to. You can figure this out. I promise you. I might give a class on this one day. Only because I had to figure this out for myself. Not that I'm a guru or something. I'm not like, stop laughing at me. Not that I'm a guru, but I need women to understand that you can achieve an orgasm with whoever you're with once you know your body. And I'm not talking about other toys. I'm just talking about with a man, if he stays hard long enough, which shouldn't take you longer than 15 to 20 minutes if you know your body. And
that's a long time too, man.
That's not long.
I don't think no woman at 50 years old is gonna be on top for 15 minutes.
You must be crazy. Boy, bye. You out your mind. Ask my ex. But anyway, I ain't even lying. I think that might have been one of our problems. But let me go. Let's reel this back in because you're making me talk too much and you're doing it on purpose. And the other thing too, ladies, is it's a spiritual connection, a mind connection. Like if you with the right person, and y'all can look at each other and y'all can connect. There's something different. And both of y'all will achieve at the same time. If you know what you're doing, sis, you could take this man to a new height. I promise you. It's a mind trick too. I shouldn't say trick. But if you could connect with somebody in their eyes in the middle of intercourse or in the middle of making love, you can have a whole different experience. Look at your face. Because you're thinking about something. You're thinking about somebody. You've had this experience, right? Once you have this experience, you know it's possible. So if you can get with somebody and y'all could lock eyes and have that emotional connection, it's a totally different thing than just penetration. If you're with the right person and you guys are connected spiritually, and you have to make that connection before y'all are even engaged. It really comes with the foreplay. So okay, that's enough. That's enough right there.
Good job. You get out of there.
Thank you. Let me get out of here. Let me back out of this because we're about to go deep. But to her, I just want to say, don't give up on him. And this is a whole nother thing. Me and Lamar will talk about this every week. You have to be willing to be mature enough to have the conversation. You have to talk to this man. And you don't have to, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You have to talk to this man and say, hey, I really want us to connect in a different way, and I really want to feel you, right? And I don't want to overpower you and make you think that I'm not letting you lead, but I want to show you how I like to be touched. I want to show you how I like, what moves I like and where I like to be.
That's a perfect way to say it, that it doesn't damage him and it actually excites him, because the little boy in us comes out and goes, all right, I got something to play with. That's all the guy ever wants. The willingness.
Yeah, you got to have the conversation. And it's the conversation will be good if you make the conversation good. And nobody has to be embarrassed and nobody has to talk down to anybody. You just have to have real talk, and then everybody will get what it is that they need. And not every time. But once y'all have that conversation and that connection, things are going to change for her, because she really likes him. She said, I think I found a great guy. He has all his ducks in a row. So you like him. Don't give up on him.
Make it work.
Y'all just, make it work. Just keep trying and talk through it a little bit and ask him, are you comfortable talking about this? Because I'm really into you and I really want this to work for us. So this is how I like to be touched. This is the way I like to move. And if you don't mind, I like to be on top more. And I'm sure he'll be like, what? Whoa, okay, let's do this. Yeah. So conversations are good. So if you just tuned in, you're tuned into for Looking for Love. We're here every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New You Nation Network YouTube channel. And we are here to bridge the gap between Generation X men and Generation X women. And we're here to just teach and learn and grow, because we don't know everything. So when Lamar is talking, I ask that the women would listen. And when I'm talking, I ask that the men would listen, because we're speaking for the females and we're speaking for the males in order for us to understand each other. So we're going to go to our new segment. Yay! We have a new segment. I need my card so I know what I'm doing. And our segment is Let's Take a Sip. Y'all probably think you're going to get drunk. What you sipping on over there, Lamar?
I got a little Malibu with a little berry, like a little berry mist to it.
Oh, I got a little Malibu with some cranberry. Okay. We on the same page tonight.
Yeah, look like more cranberry than Malibu.
Yeah, I'm lightweight nowadays. I want to feel nice. I don't want to be drunk. I want to wake up in the morning and work and not be like, oh, my head hurt. So yeah, I'm a lightweight. So we're going to do our next segment because you guys asked for it. So every now and again, not even every now and again, often. So I'm a certified life and relationship coach. So a lot of people know me from that part of my life. And a lot of people ask me about celebrity relationships. So we're going to talk about celebrity relationships each week, whatever's in the news. So let's bring this to the forefront and let's talk about this. So LaToya Luckett has been married 3 times in 7 years. So her ex-husband put up a post on social media and said, how would you feel marrying a woman who has been married 3 times in 7 years? Would you be comfortable marrying a man or a woman who has been married 3 times in 7 years? So let's talk about that, Lamar. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, to the guy who obviously he feels a little jaded, maybe because of who she is, and probably she was probably the one who called off the relationship. Him doing that, don't do that. That's horrible. Now, you already did it. Now let's talk on her. That's 2.3 years per marriage. She's not really good at it. She really isn't good at it. So I don't know why she wants to be married so much. If I view it like this, the first marriage, you truly don't really know what you want, what you desire. You barely know yourself, because most times you get married young. The second marriage, you should have done some work on yourself. You should be able to have these conversations. You should be able to talk and be able to know most of what you want. Not saying you're going to get it, but you should at least know it. If you fail at marriage 1 and marriage 2, you should stop. That is not it. It's like you need some time to really, really work on yourself before you venture back into this realm of getting into another relationship. And marriage should not be the first thing on your mind. It should be being healthy and being better than that first and second relationship. And if you feel that growth, then a third marriage could happen. But to be married every 2.3 years, she's a whole train wreck. So she's working on J-Lo. Was J-Lo at 6, something like that? So.
Oh, is J-Lo at 6? Fails. Can't be.
She's the was it Elizabeth Taylor? She's the new Elizabeth Taylor.
Okay, so I just hope that, and I'm going to speak from a relationship coach standpoint, right? I'm going to speak from coaching. We all need to heal between relationships, right? We don't need to jump from bed to bed to bed to bed, because the common denominator here is LaToya. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way, but you are the common denominator. So you have to look at yourself in the mirror. And I'm just saying, I hope that she, along this journey, is in therapy for why these marriages are failing. Because I believe that when a marriage fails or a relationship fails, both people are accountable for the breakdown in the relationship, whether it was a communication piece, whether somebody stayed too long, whatever the case may be. So in between these marriages, if LaToya didn't get counseling, nothing changes if nothing changes, unfortunately, fellas. Unfortunately for the men who are with her, because most men who end up with a woman who's been in multiple relationships or multiple marriages break up with that woman for the same reason. Say it's a woman that emasculates men. The next man, if they sat down and had a conversation with each other, they would be like, bro, I know. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's a woman that doesn't sleep with her husband often, the fellas, if they ever got together, they'd be like, bro, I know why y'all broke up, because she is who she is. So unless LaToya got the help that she needed along this journey to say, why am I getting in marriages that fail? I'm not going to say this marriage is going to fail, because sometimes people just stay to prove a point. I hope that she would never stay in a marriage to prove a point. But if she didn't get the help that she needs, and she's the common denominator, this may very well be a struggle. I won't say that it'll be over, but it may very well be a struggle. And number two, there are some women out here, and I know some women that do this, that they're Christians and they don't want to sleep with somebody that they're not married to because they don't want to sin. But if you marrying men to sleep with them, that's a problem. If you marry him because you're saying, oh, well, I'm not going to sleep with a man that I'm not married to because that's a sin. So you're basically getting married so you can have sex. Somewhere along the line, there's going to be a problem, because do you even know if you like this man? And if she got married 3 times in 7 years, you don't even really know these people, right? Because I don't even know folks.
I would probably say one of those marriages probably didn't last longer than a year. So she probably stayed with one guy 3 years, one guy 1 year, and then the other guy like 2.5 or something like that. So I don't know. She's LaToya. If you're listening, you need to get you some therapy, get you some help, because you need to be by yourself. You need to work on yourself, mama.
Right. I don't even know a person, 7 years, 3 men. You can't get to know 3 men, like get to know 3 men in 7 years, like get to really know a person.
But how quick are you getting married? I mean, it's like something's wrong with you. You know, it's like if you're meeting somebody and y'all I was watching HGTV because I'm looking to buy a house soon. So I started that process up, and they had a couple on there, knew each other for 2 months, and they're trying to buy a house together. I'm looking like what is wrong with you, man? Like,
they're not married?
No, they weren't married. They just met. They were dating 2 months. And you could see the conflict between that they didn't know each other. She liked this, he didn't like this. And I'm like, why are y'all doing this? So I was like,
right.
It's like, some people move too fast. Some people move too slow. So, like you said, we say on average a year to a year and a half of dating, if you want to marry that person. Somewhere between year 2 and year 3 is when it typically happens.
Right. I think, like I said, I just hope that she, before this last marriage, she just got married recently. And I hate that her business has to be out here, but she's a celebrity, so it is what it is. But I hope that before she, enduring this courting process, that they went through counseling, that they went through coaching, that she worked on herself. I hope that she's been in therapy these whole 7 years, because therapy is good. Therapy, coaching, pastoral care, whatever it is that you need. But I hope that she was under somebody's care. And I hope that she has people around her. I hope she has people around her to be honest with her, to say, hey, you think you're moving too fast? Even though nobody could tell her what to do. But for somebody to say,
I mean, somebody should be able to question. You should trust somebody to just question them, to be like, hey, are you okay? Right. So I have a question. In marriage, How many is too many?
For me,
Yeah. If you're dating somebody and they, how many, what makes you go, ooh?
it's probably not what makes me go, "Ooh, this is disturbing," because it's 3 people in 7 years. But I wouldn't want to marry a man who's been married more than twice.
Okay. I would say the same. 2 times kind of goes, like I said, the first one, you got a 50-50 chance getting that right. So I'm not going to
Yeah.
be that crucial on the first one. But
And the first one usually is you got married when you were young, you didn't know what you wanted. Like my first marriage, I got married when I was 21. I was with him. I met him when I was 17. I got married when I was 21. I hadn't been to school. I hadn't sort of worked. I didn't even know what I wanted. I was a young woman. I was basically a kid that was, I didn't know. And I had never seen a healthy relationship because I came from a dysfunctional background. So by the time I got 35, I'm like, hey, what is going on here? Like, I became an adult around that time. And I'm just like, wow, like, I really didn't know what I wanted. I've been living this man's life. And not that it's his fault because I made the decision that I made. But I'm like, I've been living this man's life. Like, I went on tour with him. I did everything that he did. I never really knew who Trey was because hadn't even developed myself at 17 and
Right.
getting married at 21. I didn't even know. I just was like, I do. I mean, my ex-husband is a great, great guy. He's a great dude, but I was way too young and inexperienced and didn't see anything healthy enough for me to walk down the aisle with anybody.
Sometimes the times don't match up. Sometimes
Right.
it's too early, and it's a lot of things that can happen. But the thing is that the longer you have some experiences, I think late 20s, right at 30, I think for this generation or the younger generations, that is the right time. I think you've gone through some things, you've experienced it, and I think 30 is a good time to go, okay, I've kind of seen what's out here.
I agree.
So, but I was with my real estate agent last weekend. She been married 6 times.
Oh.
I looked at her like, what? like,
oh. Yeah, I think 2 times is fair because the first time, again, is most people were too young and didn't know what they wanted.
Right.
The second time, it was probably 2 people that came together that had been in a previous marriage and didn't go do the work on themselves. And then that third time, even though a lot of times, a lot of the couples that I coach and a lot of couples that I know who are together and who are thriving, it's their second marriage because they already
they've done the work.
That.
They've done the
Right.
work, and they're not playing the games no more. They're honest. They know exactly what they want. And when you get 2 people that do that, man, that's a great friendship. That's how that starts out because that starts with honesty. It starts with all that other stuff. You don't have to, I don't know, I can't say this because you might be too sensitive. Isn't it? Man, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna say what I want to say. I have yet to meet anyone. I've been by myself for 9 years. I don't get them comments. Oh, you rude. You did. I don't get that stuff. They accept me for who I am. It's like you're not trying to change me. You're not trying to judge me. It's just my truth. Like,
yes.
It's just my truth. Why are you getting upset at me? Because I'm telling you what I feel.
Right. And most women and most men say, I want the truth until it's time to hear the truth. So if you just tuned in, you're tuned into Looking for Love. We're here every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New You Nation Network YouTube channel. If you would like to do a sponsorship with us, or if you would like to advertise here, please send an email to info@TreyKearney.com, info@TreyKearney.com, and we will get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. If you have a viewer's question, you can send an email to info@TreyKearney.com, or you could DM me, or you could DM Lamar, and we will read your question live in the order which we receive. So don't be stressing us out if you send a question this week. We probably won't get to it for a couple of weeks, but we will get to it unless you say it's urgent,
Right.
and then we might bump you up if it's urgent.
Oh God.
So we were just talking about marriage and how many marriages is too many marriages for you, and so many people think that marriage is just a piece of paper, and so many people just think that if it don't work out, I'll just get a divorce. Do you think that marriage is less valued now than it was back in the day?
Absolutely.
And why do you think that?
I mean, the divorce rate is like what, 50, 60% now. It's like half of it. And I think that it's just social media is playing a lot of part in that. It's just the expectations, whether you liking pictures or you're trying to live a lifestyle or something like that. It's just all these variables that have just got people's attention away from what what it should be. It's not about money. It's not about, it's about having a companion, that's somebody you can be the best version of yourself. And they allow you to do that work on yourself while y'all are together, because I am not, when I'm 20, I'm not the same person at 30 or 40 or 50. So you got to allow me to figure this out and grow and say, hey, he's trying to do something. Is he worse? Use a man in 10-year increments. Is he better at 30 than he was at 20? Then cut me some fucking slack. If I'm better at 40 than I was at 30, shut the fuck up and leave me alone. It's like, God damn, man. It's like, I don't understand what women want. You know, it's like, man, you're trying to grow, but because I'm not growing at your pace, it ain't good.
Mm. Ladies, did y'all hear that? Ladies, did y'all hear that? Listen, you got to let a man grow at his own pace, number one. Number two, and this drives women crazy too, because some of my clients that I coach, they've had instances where they've grown, because I've worked with them, and the man still didn't see the growth in them. That is the most hurtful, annoying thing that could happen to a person, that they're working on themselves and the person next to them does not see the growth and the change or acknowledge it. So be mindful of that. So we got one more segment that we are popping in tonight. Oh, shoot, I forgot to put the segment up. So that last segment was Let's Sip on It. So let's go to our next segment, Lamar, which is Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. He's the beauty and I'm the beast. So don't mess with us. Don't mess. I'm the beast. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do it. Don't get your feelings hurt, because, I tell people I'm 90% Christian, 10% Cardi B. So this is the Beauty and the Beast segment. I'm just playing, y'all. This is the Beauty and the Beast segment. We'll be doing this every week. We'll have this segment where we are going to share a health and beauty tip, or a health and beauty tip for men, for women, or for both. So, Lamar, do you have your tip for today?
I got a tip of the day for bald head men. So the preparation, because, you have to have a routine, because if your head is dirty, you don't exfoliate, this and that, you'll get razor bumps and your hair gets sensitive, because most men, I shave my head every day in the shower. So your preparation, one of the things I do is your whatever soap you're using, clean this area up first. I mean, scrub it good to where you can see the dirt coming off of it. Preferably, I use white washcloth so I can see the dirt. And when you shave, you should have a routine. I use a brand new razor, about every 5th time. So once a week, I'm almost switching out razors, and I go with the grain of my hair. So, and let the razor do. Don't push down on it. Let it drag, and you get a nice clean shave.
That was really good. Okay, and ladies, take these notes, because you can help your man if you're married, right?
Right.
Seriously, you can help your man. So that's our tip of the day, our health and beauty tip of the day for the men. So my tip for today is, this is for the men and the women. Read the ingredients. Please. Read the ingredients on everything that you're eating and everything that you're putting on your body. And as my girl Netta would say, who is my holistic advisor, as my girl Netta would say, if you can't pronounce it, don't eat it and don't put it on your body. Okay, so that is our health and wellness, Beauty and the Beast segment for this week. We'll be here every week with a tip for you. If you have any questions about beauty and wellness, please let us know. We talk about all things and everything. We've been discussing this, and we found that we would love to just share healthy ways of living with you guys as well. We just don't want to be on here talking and not giving people things to grow and learn. So we have 6 minutes, Dougie. 6 minutes, Dougie. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh. We're done. Done.
Hey, when you looked at the schedule and you told me today, I was like, I don't know if we can make that happen. And we did.
We did. We right on point. So 5
minutes to spare.
5 minutes to spare. So we're going to go into our final segment, and our final segment really is final thoughts. What is one thing that you took away from tonight, Lamar, or one thing that you would like to share with the people who are listening right now? Because Cardi B is about to come out in me, and I'm trying to restrain her.
This platform gives you a voice. And if anything people could take from is when you're trying to do work on yourself and you're trying to be a better version of yourself, whether you're going fast or slow, you should be allowed to be able to do that. And it's tough to grow, because I know I'm not the same person at 50 that I was in previous years. But it seems that it's harder to change people's minds. So take that time, work on yourself, because you owe it to yourself. I guarantee. I'll tell you. I'm 8 years in, been working on myself. I'm not finished by any means, but I'm better. I'm a better version of Lamar today than I've ever been. And because of that, I'm happy. And I just tell people, just don't be so rushed to rush. Don't rush the process. Live in the moment. Enjoy where you're at, because none of this is promised. It truly is not. And the thing that bother you in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter. You got to find this joy within yourself, and you got to understand that the chaos is always going to be around you, but you got to find this peace, because it's there. And you're going to have to go through some shit. You're going to have to shed people. You're going to have to ridicule, but it's worth it. I guarantee you it's absolutely worth it.
My final thought for today is, and I'm going to piggyback off what I said this morning, and that is to be you. Everybody ain't going to like you, right? And when you start to grow, and when things in your life start to become good and people are watching, the haters are going to hate, because they are stuck in a space of where they've been for so long. And I call it being stuck in the moment. Thank you, Holy Spirit, because y'all know I love the Lord. The Holy Spirit just told me to say this, so I'm going to say this. There are so many people who are stuck in the moment, and that means you are stuck in the past. You are stuck somewhere at 30 years old, and you are 50 years old now, and you are mad at a person who does not owe you anything. You need to move forward, let that person go, because the only person that you are punishing is you. And one thing I want us all not to do is not let miserable people steal our joy, because misery loves company. My mother used to say that all the time when I was younger. I was like, what is she talking about? Miserable people love to make other people miserable, because they don't want to find their happiness. And that is nobody's problem but their own. So again, be you. There was a person that sent me a message that said they didn't like my delivery. And at this stage in my life, for once, Lamar, I'm okay with me. No, like seriously, because before, if somebody said to me, I don't like your delivery or something, I would really question myself. But I'm so happy being me right now. I like me. So when people take jabs and say stuff, I'll be like, they don't like themselves. Don't deflect on me because you don't like you. So a lot of times when people say negative things to you or negative things about you, or they come for you, it's because they hate themselves and they're trying to make you hate yourself.
Right.
Love you, be you, embrace you. And I'm not saying don't care about what people think, but only care about what people think, the people who love you and the people who would gently course correct you because they love you, and nobody else matters. And I'm so serious right now for each and every one of us. When you are on the road to your destiny, when you are operating in your God-given purpose, and me and Lamar, we've been in meetings all week, and I've had some amazing meetings about where we're going with this podcast, with the network. And whenever you're on purpose, the devil is going to come, because he comes to steal, kill, and destroy, right? Yep. And he never comes to kill, steal, and destroy something that's not worth killing, stealing, and destroying. A thief never comes to an empty vault. So when the trials and tribulations come to you, it is not to break you. It is to build resilience for where you are going. And when those hard times come, at the time where you're like, wow, today's a good day, just know in that moment, you're on the right path.
Greatness is coming.
That's why greatness is coming. And that's why they're coming for you, because they see it. And they see it before you even see it.
True.
But trust yourself, love yourself, and be you. So again, if you just tuned in, you're tuned into Looking for Love. We're here every Wednesday night live, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the New You Nation Network YouTube channel. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell so you get the notification when me and Lamar come on. And please share, because sharing is caring. We thank you guys for tuning in. We will be here next week, same time, same station. Peace and blessings. Love y'all.